All right, hey guys, Scout Football Scoop. Today on the Inside Scoop, I've got Ken Collums with us. Ken's the head coach at Abilene Christian. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing quite well, Scott. Thank you.
So, Coach just finishing up his first year as head coach there after, been offense coordinator for 7 or 8 years, huh, Coach?
Yes, sir. Been here 7 years.
All right, listen. So, we do a little weekly stats article. Most of them focus on FBS programs, but there was something out there called one of our guys' eyes. You've had back-to-back quarterbacks throw for over 12,000 yards. That's unreal, right, Coach.
That is. Most schools don't even ever have one that throw for 12,000 yards because that's a lot. That's kind of the benchmark in college football is 12,000 yards. And we are actually only the third school in college football history to ever have that. First, it was Brennan and Chang at Hawaii, and then it was Kolb and Keenum at Houston, and now it's Billy Malone and Mitchell Gale here at Abilene Christian University, and that's you're kind of that's rare company and kind of some tall cotton these guys are walking in, but it's a testament to our program and what we've done here, and that it's not about one guy, and it's not necessarily about those quarterbacks. They just had the right mix and were thrown into the right situation. And we're able to do it over the long haul, which is the key. There are a lot of quarterbacks that could do it, but they can't either don't get a chance to do it over the long haul, or they don't stay healthy enough, or certain situations don't lend to them then doing it for 3 or 4 years. But both those guys got it done, and we're fired up about it.
That's awesome. All right, so you've been an offense coordinator there for 7 or 8 years. You have the opportunity to become head coach this year. You continue to call the plays, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that experience. I know that's hard.
Well, yeah, and it's okay. I mean, it's a lot easier being an offensive coordinator with quality players. There's no better job, in my opinion, than that. So I had it made for the last 7 years. We had really good players in here. We had some of the better players literally in the country. We've had 5 or 6 guys come through here and make it on NFL teams, and most of them were offensive players. So that's fun. When you're dealing with that, it's fun. You get to perfect your craft. I coached under a coach, Chris Thompson, who was my best friend in the world. We were so like-hearted that he gave me freedom to do pretty much whatever I wanted. And that's how if there's a level of trust, that's how you grow as a coach. That's how you grow as a person and perfect your craft. So transitioning into the head coaching role, as all rookie head coaches know, sometimes it's not all that great. But it was definitely challenging, and I'm so glad to be where I am. I grew a lot, been stretched. We won 7 games here. We lost a couple that we probably shouldn't have, but that probably always goes with a rookie head coach. But I'm fired up to be where I am.
You guys have a great foundation there for sure. Tell me about the differences, Coach. I know day to day there's just so many more demands on a head coach. You're not game planning all day long. Sometimes you got to deal with the media, stuff like this. Tell me about that.
Oh, this is the easy stuff. It's putting out the fires that's what wears you out. And each issue in and of itself is okay. You can deal with it. But day to day, through the long haul, through the grind, putting out the fires, doing the media stuff, it just kind of grinds on you a little bit. And from time to time, it takes away from who you are. And the struggle is to not let it do that and to continue to be the husband and the father at home that you signed up to be on that wedding day. Yep. And that's the toughest thing to me about being a head coach. For example, one Wednesday, we're in the middle of a week, a critical practice day, and from the morning until practice started, I spent a total of about 10 minutes on football. And I'm supposed to be this game planner and this play caller. Well, I'm putting out 2 fires with personnel, and I'm dealing with a media lunch that was extended. So it was like I showed up for practice, going, hey man, I hope we're ready to go. I hope we're fired up to win this week because I have no idea what the game plan is. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily like that, but when you're used to controlling every single drill and every play call, running every meeting. It's just a little bit different, and it puts a premium on the fact that, you better hire people that are like-minded and are like-hearted with you, because when you walk out of the room the wheels have to stay on the right road, and they better not start wobbling. But if you hire some guy that's not like-hearted, not like-minded with you, it may start veering off, and it may not necessarily be on purpose. But the course may start to change. And if you don't, as a leader, if you're not on top of that, that may be the first thing that changes in your entire culture. You may look up in your culture of your team that you work so hard to establish may start changing.
I completely agree with you. Hiring the right guys is so important as a head coach. You can't underestimate it or undersell it. And having those guys that exactly what they're saying when you leave the room, exactly what they're saying, exactly what you said. You can't have any cancer on within the staff. That's
right.
Super critical.
The progression of any organization, definitely college football, depends on two things. It depends on leadership and it depends on trust. Because if you don't have good leadership, you're not gonna make it. And if there's not trust from top to bottom within your organization, you're not gonna make it.
Yep. Hey, Coach, I know you guys are transitioning up. Tell me where do you guys stand in that process? What do the next couple of years look like?
Well, we are transitioning to the FCS level. We're going to end up in the Southland Conference, and I work for some really smart people here. Dr. Phil Schubert, he's our president. Jared Mosley is our athletic director. They've spent years researching this thing, time and money. So it's a deal where they know what they're doing, and they know the expectations. The expectations are realistic. We've got a culture here and an expectation of excellence as far as football, but the reality of it is we've got some rough waters ahead of us, and anybody that has been through any sort of transition, any sort of move up like this knows what I'm talking about. And I really don't. We're on the front end of it, so I don't really know what I'm talking about, the struggles.
Yeah.
But it's like being a rookie head coach. It's like watching the roller coaster before you get on it. It kind of scares you, but once you're on it, it's totally different. So, but I know things are going to be fine. I work for some really good people, and it's our goal to become the premier university and premier school in the region, in the entire region of the U.S. For our purpose, which is to educate students for Christian leadership and service throughout the world. And we can't make the playoffs. There's a probationary period. So for 5 years, we're just going to be playing football and trying to win as many games as we can. We cannot be recognized as a conference champion. We won't be able to make the playoffs. But I'll tell you this, if you look at winning in and of itself, winning is not enough, period, in and of itself. There's got to be more to any level of college football. Because if winning was it, then all coaches and all players that won a conference championship or a national championship would have great lives. They would feel fulfilled. Well,
right.
They don't. And so what's going to get us through this transition is the foundation of who we are. Yeah. We're a world-class education. We're growing these guys daily into men, into future husbands and fathers. That's at the end of the day, at the end of this transition, that is what is going to help us get through this, because that's who we're made of. You can't try to be a certain program. You can't do it like a certain program did. Although Central Arkansas, good friends with those guys up there, and Clint Conk did a great job up there, and they went to the playoffs last year, going again this year. So I'm leaning on. I'll lean on him for some input and bouncing ideas off. But ultimately, we've got to do this thing with our own heart, the way we are. And the bottom line for us is the foundation of who we are is we want to help these guys become future husbands and future fathers. When half of marriages fail, we want to do something about that. And that is, in its simplest form, that is what's going to help us carry through this thing. And because you're not going to win every game. I don't care who you are. If you're Alabama or if you're LSU or USC, sooner or later, you're not going to win every game, so there has to be more than just winning football games.
Yep. There's only 12 games, 12 days a year when you're actually playing.
That's right.
That's 365 days where you're teaching men to be better people and giving them a bright future.
And if you can't hang your hat on that, then ultimately it is all about winning. And when you're not going to win every game, you're going to be living a life of a roller coaster on that roller coaster. It's up and down, and and that's unhealthy, and it's not a good place to be professionally, and it's definitely not a good place to be as a husband and a father when you go home at night.
I'm gonna have to have some words with these FCS commissioners. What's going on with this 5-year ban on the playoffs? That's a
Well,
little
it's
rough.
just kind of what it is. At Division II, the academic rules are a little bit different, so we can get some guys in here on the Division II level that some FCS schools can't get in. Now, at ACU, our entrance requirements are higher, so it's not a situation where we can get any guy from a junior college that goes to school for 2 semesters. We can get him in school. We can't do that. This is a world-class academic institution, and we are behind the 8 ball in Division II as far as being able to get the good players. So when we move up to the FCS level, it really will be more of an even playing field for us simply because of the laws of the land in the FCS level.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for you, Coach. I think you're doing it the right way, and you've got great leadership there, like you said, and you guys will be successful. Just keep doing it the right way every day.